Hi, I'm Jamie Madge from Shots, and here with another one of our YDA interviews. And I'm here with, I'm going to switch to gallery view so we can see him, Loïc Andrieu. I think I kind of nailed it then, didn't I? Who is the fantastic director of Call of the Wild, one of the gold-winning YDA videos. So thanks so much for joining us today, Loïc.
Sorry?
I said thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure, Jamie. It's a real pleasure.
Okay, so I just wanted to sort of chat to you about the film and the making of the film, obviously. But before that, I thought it'd be interesting to find out how you got into filmmaking. What was your sort of journey up to this point, as it were?
Yeah, so as far as I can remember, I always wanted to become a writer, director. But it felt to me really essential to first learn the craft of directing. So I started my career as a Steadicam operator. I worked with, I worked on something like, I would say, more than 100 feature films with French and also international directors. So I've learned a lot from them, especially with Luc Besson. With him, I've learned a lot about visual storytelling, I would say. And I was lucky enough to work also with Jacques Audiard and Leo Scarax also. These guys were kind of mentors to me. And I've learned a lot from them.
Well, I mean, the sort of the idea of visual storytelling obviously plays in quite heavily to your film, because it's one, if the people who are watching this interview haven't seen it yet, go and watch it now and then come back. But you'll notice it's a film that compacts so much into its short time frame, and there's so much of it is told visually. It's a really rich film, and I really think it's fantastic. So can you tell us a little bit about the origins of the film? Like, how did you get involved in this particular project?
Yeah, you can see that this project really looks much more like kind of a short film. So basically, it's because it was not, I did not conceive the project as a music video first. It was more like something like a proof of concept for a feature film I'm writing right now, a feature film called Lifeline. So I was really looking for a musical kind of an artist ready to work with me in order to create some sort of mood around my own universe. So I was lucky enough to meet Agoria. His name is Sébastien Deveau. He's an amazing artist. And I was lucky enough to work with him. So he gave me one of his tracks and we worked around it. It's not, the edit of the music video is not exactly the edit that you would hear on his LP, but I was really lucky to work with him. So basically, I brought the project as kind of a proof of concept for my feature film, Lifeline.
Okay, so I mean that's you can kind of see that in the film. Well, now that you've said that, you can definitely see that it's something that could be expanded, like a concept that could be expanded. But also, it works so well in the sort of the tight constraints of the film itself. Was there ever a point where you were like, oh, this is actually the form that this story needs to be? Like, did you sort of think I might shelve this project after making this? I've kind of perfected it.
Actually, what happened, we shot the project in Los Angeles, and what happened is that we shot for 3 nights in Los Angeles, and I came back with an edit, like I would say 10 minutes edits. So you see there's more footage, definitely. But in order, to fit with the fact that we wanted to edit a music video, we had to edit it for, I think it's 5 minutes, 30 seconds, something like that, edit. But it's a kind of strong story on different standpoints. Not only on a visual standpoint, of course, because I was lucky enough to work with an amazing DP, a British DP. His name is Simon Chaudhry, and I was lucky enough to work with him. And you can see that the universe that I developed is really a strong kind of thriller universe. So basically, the whole story is shot by night, and in order to expose the concept of the feature that I'm writing right now, I needed something like in between 5 to 10 minutes in order to show the concept itself.
So you mentioned there that you shot in LA, and I know you're based in Paris, aren't you, at the moment? That's
yes, I'm Paris based.
So, so you shot in LA. The film has like a number of locations in it. It's got an incredible set as well. So the ambition was huge. Was there any point where you were sort of thinking, oh, maybe I should like scale this down, or was that always the idea? Like, if this is a proof of concept, we need to get, we need to get on the street, we need to shoot it like this.
It's like, you always try, like I told you, I was lucky enough to work with amazing directors. Mm. And, you always try to raise the bar. You always try to work and as much as possible, of course, every day. So you always want to provide the audience the best footage that you can provide them. So, of course, I did my best with these 3 nights of shooting, and I did my best to expose the best locations that I would find over there. And I always look for the best, definitely the best. How can I say that? The highest rank. Would you say that?
That works.
Sorry. The best way to show my universe.
Right. Well, speaking of your universe and also the ambition of the film, it must be about 3/4 of the way through, suddenly the film sort of changes into I hasten to say the sort of the world of the supernatural. Was there any point where you sort of thought, well, this is, I've got this sort of tight thriller here, and it works? I mean, without that section, the narrative, I guess, would still work, but it's that moment sort of changes the whole feel of the film. Was there ever a point where you thought, well, maybe I could lose that if needed, or work it in a different way?
No, you're right. I mean, everything is really balanced in the story. In order first to ground the story in real life, and then to switch to a kind of supernatural universe. So yes, the main character has the ability to dive into death. So the main challenges was to offer to the audience a kind of near-death experience. So that's why we're switching to that kind of amazing universe where the house crumbles it's basically I really like this part, and because this is really the kind of movies that I would like to direct, movies where you are grounded in reality and suddenly you can switch to an amazing universe.
Well, it's handled really well, and it was a genre jump that I wasn't expecting, but as an audience member, I totally went with, which is, that's a testament to your skills at handling it. And I'm not the only person saying it's a fantastic film. You won the gold at the YDAs. You've just picked up a UK MVA as well, I believe. So, what does this award attention mean to you? How does that feel?
I think it means a lot to us, to my producer, because he trusted me from the beginning with such an amazing story. And we take nothing for granted. So it's like we're working very hard in order to provide to the audience the best experience they can go through watching our work. So I'm very proud. I'm definitely very proud of these different awards, and I hope that we'll get even more.
I'm sure you will. Anything it gets entered into. So you mentioned that this was the proof of concept for this for feature film that you're working on. Is that the next thing on your slate, or have you got any other projects on the go? I'm guessing you guys are in lockdown much as we are at the moment, aren't you? So there's a lot of confusion and tension about that.
Yes, so of course I am working right now on the feature film script of Lifeline. got, I wouldn't say plenty of time to do it, but got enough time to work on it. And I'm also working on a second, like on a new music video project. You know, like I said, I write the concept first, then I look for an artist, because I'm not the kind, I'm not the kind of director who's going to pitch on something. I come with a very strong universe, and I try to find an artist who would work with me in order to develop the universe. See?
Oh, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy script writing to chat to us today. And please do keep us up to date with everything else you're doing, because it's fantastic work.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.
Cheers.